What the hell are we supposed to use, man? Harsh language?
Hello, welcome back to the Harsh Language Podcast. This is episode 77. Hey, Marvin.
Wow.
Hey, Dusty.
Hey, Dan.
Ahoy.
We're almost at 100. We're going to be at 100 soon.
Yeah.
That's pretty big, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we do something special for the 100th episode, like Dusty gets naked or something.
Yeah.
Why Dusty specifically?
I don't know. Oh, you got our shirt on. Check that out.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
That's the exclusive Harsh Language Beverly Hills Cop design that we did. Good old banana in the muffler.
Banana. We're not going to fall for banana in the tailpipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I turned the shirts back on for 1 week because I forgot to order while I was in California. So,
Yeah.
if you want to order one of the shirts that were going to be limited edition, they're going to be open for like one more week, and then it'll be.
Get them while they're hot.
Off.
I got to get the Halloween one. I never got it.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You got a week to do it.
I will do. Remember that, folks. Harshlanguage.tv. Check it out. Also available are all our links. And you know what? Actually, I'll talk about this live. I was going to talk about it privately with you guys, but fuck it. We'll do it live. I've been seeing a lot of other like movie and TV show like people. They have a Letterbox account. Are you guys familiar with Letterbox?
Like a P.O. box?
Nope. It's a website called Letterbox, and it's like I think it's like Tracked from what I could tell. I haven't really fucked with it too much, but it's like Tracked but like combined into like a social media platform. So I think it would be an interesting way for us to maybe, branch out to other platforms. But it lets you track the stuff that you're watching, similar to Tracked. I actually wonder if there's any connection ability with, you know what, Marvin? I was going to have you take a quick look at that at some point, if you know what I'm saying.
Connectability to what?
The way Tracked works, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that'd be kind of cool.
There's some API they're probably using from Tracked.
Yeah,
if
for
it
sure.
connects to Track, then yeah, it should automatically connect.
So that would be
cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But then it lets you it's almost like a journal. So you could like journal about stuff you're watching. And then write individual reviews. Dusty and I had kind of talked about this, doing something similar to this for like a website. And I was kind of like, it seems like a little bit too much, but it's cool that this website exists because it is like a social media. So I feel like it's a film and TV focused social media. So I made one personally to fuck around with it. I don't know if you guys want to try it out yourselves, but maybe we can make one for the show. Probably make one for the show over me personally.
For the show.
Maybe.
When we had the old website and we wanted a database of all the movies we've talked about and basically rated.
Yeah, and it lets you do that. It lets you rate them on the thing. Right. It's got like its own rating system. It seems pretty cool. I got to look at it a little bit more, but yeah. So maybe we'll get a letterbox going. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
Sounds cool. I like it.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Anyhow, got a good show planned today. Talking about Fargo.
Yeah.
The movie, not the show. Marvin never saw it. I think it's amazing. And I wanted him to watch it. So that's what we're going to talk about a little bit later.
You betcha.
Yeah. How was everybody's week?
Oh man, it was pretty good.
I know about yours, Marvin.
Fridge went out, so I had to deal with that.
Oh yeah.
Had stuff in coolers for a little bit.
That's right.
Got it back together, but yeah, not too much exciting besides that, to be honest.
How was yours, Dusty?
Well, it was pretty good. Uneventful. My roommate's sick right now, so trying to not also get sick.
Got them school germs.
Yeah.
Is that a t-shirt?
Yep. It's just I'm wearing.
You're wearing something on the. Okay, that was what's
wearing a base layer.
I was like, I don't remember making a long sleeve version of those.
No, it was 45 and sunny today, but that's the warmest it's been since I've been back to Oklahoma. It's been either 10 degrees or raining. So it was a nice day, but it's still a little cool in the evenings.
Yeah, it's been rainy the last couple days here. I left my house today though. Went over to hang out with friend of the show, Nick, aka Rose Pig Cooking.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we watched some football. I don't give a fuck about football, but he does, and our other friend does. So we watched that. Got some sushi. So that was fun. Nick is really upset about what I said last episode. I think I should address it since he actively watches the show. He's upset, Dusty, that I said he is a Raiders fan. Unfortunately for him, he takes issue with the "unfortunately for him" portion of what I said. He thinks that I was shitting on the Raiders, which I wasn't. I was just saying, in any
you were
situation,
shitting on him for liking the Raiders.
No.
Yeah.
I was simply saying it's unfortunate that he's a fan of a team that has not won in a long time. I myself am in the same.
A lot of teams haven't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I myself am in the same situation as a New York Rangers fan in hockey. They haven't won since 1994. It's unfortunate for me as a fan of them that they haven't won. That's all I was trying to say. He's upset. I want to know right now, here and now, do you guys agree with me or Nick? Is my wording a little bit fucked up? I don't think it was.
Probably a little bit fucked up, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was definitely a shot at a Raiders fan for sure.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I mean...
The whole world is against me. I swear to God. Dusty, what's that quote from? Come on.
What did you just say?
The whole fucking world's against me. I swear to God.
Oh.
It's a running joke in a film series that you and I like very much.
Yeah.
But Jay says it a lot in the Jay and Silent Bob movies.
Oh, right.
The whole world's against us, man. I swear to God.
Yeah, I swear to God. Yeah.
Oh, boy. You guys watching anything cool or what?
No. Sadly not.
I watched American Star the other day.
I don't know what that is.
It's a little assassin noir film. Ian McShane. A slow-moving character drama. Pretty good, though. That's the only thing I think I really watched. I saw that Kelsey Grammer was in some B movie with Dolph Lundgren that looked like a cheesy CIA type.
Did you finish?
I thought about giving it a shot, but I didn't.
Did you finish Fargo since we're talking about Fargo today? I can't remember. Oh, you didn't start it, right? This new season yet?
No, I have not. No,
but you're caught up, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you finished Jack Reacher, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, yep. I started this newest season of Big Mouth this week. That's the Netflix animation.
That's still on?
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's season 7.
Dude, what? People actually still watch it?
Dude, it's so good. It's fucking hilarious. It's like one of the best animations I've seen.
I was like,
I love it.
Kind of sick of this.
I love it so much. They're going to high school now this season.
Yeah. Masters of the Air has 2 episodes out, but I think I'm gonna let it build up and before I watch that one.
Yeah, that's the same people that made The Pacific, right? And Band of Brothers.
Band of Brothers, yeah, it's basically a sequel to kind of
a spiritual successor.
Yes.
That's dangerous territory.
We got another episode of True Detective tonight.
Yes, I actually was gonna message you about last episode, but I waited specifically to talk about it on the show. I mean,
Did you watch it, Marvin?
No, he's not.
I'm going to.
Yeah, I guess I can't say too much, but I'm not surprised. Are you aware at how they connected it to the first season? You caught all the little connective.
I don't know if I
threads?
caught all of them, but yeah, there was a few.
All right, well, I'm gonna try to say it to spoil. Marvin's not gonna remember this. It doesn't matter. The spiral that you obviously got, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because that's the symbol that was found on the first victim in the first season. The main victim that sparked the whole thing. Well, the other 2 small connections, I noticed them on my own. I want to credit myself at this because I'm fucking a master detective, as I say all the time. And then all of a sudden, the internet exploded with these connections. I was on the phone with my aunt the second the episode ended with these because I caught that shit. I just want to say that. Give me credit. Anyhow, this research facility that is being dealt with in this season is funded by the Tuttle Foundation. The Tuttles are the family from fucking Louisiana.
Yeah, put that together. Yeah.
From the first season. Remember the guy at the church? He was like the pastor that they go visit.
Yes.
And the fucking that whole family that's the family that's funding this thing. So that's a weird connection. And then also the final connection, maybe the biggest one, the dude whom that woman was seeing leading her to the bodies, the ghost of her boyfriend, that's Rust's father.
Oh, really?
Yes. His name is whatever Cole. I forget his name. Something Cole. She calls him that at the end of her speech. She's like, and so, whatever Cole left the way he came. He gave me as much in death as he did in life. And then if you go back to the first season, when Rust is being interviewed by the detectives, remember that period of time where Rust was like missing? And that's actually why they bring him in to question him?
Yes.
Well, that missing time, he says, he's like, I was back in Alaska visiting my dad who was dying of cancer. So, yeah. So I don't know.
Okay, well, that's fair. That's not spoiler or anything.
No.
For Marvin's.
No.
Yeah,
but I don't.
Yeah, that's a good one. I didn't. Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know if they're really connecting like this whole mystery that's been going on. I would imagine so because of the symbol. But it is cool that they're kind of just giving little bits and pieces. There's got to be a bigger connection than just that. It wouldn't make any sense, but I don't know. I'm really liking it so far. It's got like a really sick X-Files vibe to it. In fact, what'd she call the pile of bodies? Something sickle? What'd she call it?
A meat sickle?
No, it wasn't meat sickle. She called it something, but that's from the X-Files movie. Like one of the, there's like a similar thing. So yeah, I don't know. I'm liking it. I think the show's is going really well. I see some criticisms online. People aren't particularly liking the sort of like mild paranormal angle that it's going with, but I actually like it.
They all have that though. Really, I mean, well,
the first season did too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's cool because, like we mentioned last episode, like they could easily just play it as like, you know, oh, well, these people fucking live in the middle of nowhere where it's night for 30 days. Like, you'd be crazy too. You know what I mean? You'd be seeing fucking ghosts on the ice too. Like, so they could play it that way. But also, I just think the characters are really strong so far. I think Jodie Foster's like, she's like an interesting, strong female character. It doesn't. I was actually just talking to a friend of mine about this last night, where, you know how it is these days. Like, you know, if it's a female character, like she's got to be like a badass, or she's got to be fucking like shitting on every man in the movie, like because it has to feel forced and like, you know, not genuine. Jodie Foster in this feels like a genuinely dope fucking person. Like she's like, the whole department is like not listening to her. Remember that scene where at the fucking crime scene she had to like, she's like, fucking get to do your fucking job. We're like police investigating a murder. Like,
yeah.
And they're kind of like disrespecting her as the boss because she's a woman. But like, I don't know, she just seems like she's in charge. She's a strong character and I like that. And the other chick too, I can't remember her name. She's been really good too. And that dude she's fucking, she's basically like the dominant person in the relationship. She like comes and goes as she pleases when she wants to fuck. And like, he's just like a fucking meek fucking dude. I don't know. I kind of like that. I think it's a well-written show so far.
Yeah. I mean, I think all the characters are pretty interesting. Yeah, she's playing the part well. It's a good character. I'm interested in the story. I'm looking forward to watching tonight's episode.
Yeah, me too. Maybe we'll watch it together if you want.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Maybe down.
Okay. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I just started Big Mouth last night. I thought it's fucking funny so far. That's pretty much all I've watched. Did I watch anything else? I don't think so. I don't believe so. I tried to watch Echo, but I fell asleep during the first episode, so I gotta go back and give it a go.
Right.
Did you end up finishing it?
Yeah. Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, like I said, the overall story was really good. The show was really good, but you can tell like they chopped it up a little bit because the ending felt a little rushed and a little like the finale felt a little flat, but overall the story was good. I enjoyed it.
I saw some set photos earlier of Foggy and Matt and Karen from their filming Born Again. That's great, honestly. That whole thing, I don't know if you have any news on that. That whole like the way that production like got blown the fuck up and like reestablished and like course corrected really makes me feel like hopeful that Marvel is like trying to get their shit back in order. Because like,
Yeah, we haven't really talked about it since it really happened. Like when Feige sat down during strikes and actually took a look at what they had and was like, okay, this isn't going to work. And the strike kind of gave him that time because when the strike was over, he's like, all right, this is what we're doing. And now they're, they're doing it right, hopefully.
Well, because when it was first announced that they weren't bringing back Foggy and Karen, everybody was like, wait, what? Like, why? Like, what are you,
right.
why? Why wouldn't you? And now we're hearing that, like, they're confirming, like, yeah, all the Netflix shows are canon in the MCU. We're bringing back everybody eventually. Like, we know Punisher's debuting in Born Again, which penis is still hard.
Some people are actually a little upset because Wilson Bethel's was announced as coming back too. He's the guy that played Bullseye.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought he did a great job.
I think people didn't like that he wasn't actually Bullseye.
Yeah,
the way the Netflix show did it.
Right.
But it was fine because that's part of because that season did adapt Born Again too, just not as good as the comic book is. Like that Born Again.
Well, and they kind of have this thing where they don't necessarily embrace like the villain costumes. They kind of play down the villain costume because it's like street level. Daredevil, he finally got his costume, but that was like for armor and stuff.
Well, I'm saying that comic book, the Born Again storyline, is about somebody posing as Daredevil and like sullying his name. So they did that part of it fine. I think people were a little disappointed that he didn't become like actual Bullseye. He was just, So I don't know. Yeah. I thought he was good though, as a character. Yeah. But apparently, they might be bringing back fucking everybody. We might get. I heard that they're going to be doing an Iron Fist thing where Danny Rand may not actually be Iron Fist. It might be a female character.
Well, yeah, it was Colleen Wing. She became the Iron Fist, and we already have one. So if they recast, I'm gonna be a little pissed because she did an amazing job as Colleen Wing.
Yeah, we don't know if it's gonna be her yet. I think the rumor is that it's gonna be a female character, which people are of course flipping out about. But I think the original Iron Fist was a female, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think so. I don't know. But I don't have a problem with them doing it. Like, I mean, you hated the
that show.
Fist.
Yeah, that show was awful.
I thought it was watchable. It wasn't their greatest. It was probably their worst in the Netflix verse. But I watched it because I was interested in the Hand and all the other stuff. Like how Danny Rand was like, he's all right. His brother was a little annoying, but I was watching it for Colleen because I'm a huge fan of. She's a great Marvel character.
I didn't even think he was good in it. I know everybody was like, he's great in Game of Thrones, but I thought he was terrible in that show.
Right.
All he did, the whole fucking 2 seasons was, I'm Danny Rand. I'm Danny Rand. Like, he's like a fucking Pokemon that just said his name over and over again. Like, all right.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to them developing that because the Heroes for Hire, like, I read those books. I have some of those books. They're good. Yeah. It's some good stories where it's, it's Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and all of them.
Did you watch any of the Netflix Marvel shows, Marvin?
I watched Luke Cage.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Did you watch both seasons?
It's been a while, but I believe I did. Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, once Mahershala died, it was like such a blow because he was so good. But
yeah,
it was still a good show.
That show has one of the funniest lines I think I've ever seen in a movie or show or anything. And it's when the bad guy, the white dude who's like part of the gang, I can't remember his name, he ends up like fucking the Mahershala Ali's sister or whatever. They're in like a relationship in season 2. And like he kills someone talking shit about her. And his sidekick is like, God damn, that pussy must be ridiculous. It's the funniest fucking thing.
That is pretty funny.
But yeah, so they're shooting Born Again, and apparently they cut it from like the 22 episodes it was supposed to be to like 12. So
yeah, it's gonna be 12 or 15. Yeah, they're.
So I'm glad about this.
Yep.
I think it's gonna be. I mean, okay, so I guess in my perfect world, I don't know what they're planning, but obviously Kingpin made an appearance in Echo, was a big part of it, and I think. From what I've read, I tried to stay away from spoilers, but I also didn't really care too much. But I think from what I read, like they established that Kingpin's probably going to run for mayor of New York.
Mm.
So I think we're gonna get.
Yeah, we reported on this a while back. Like,
yeah,
in the MCU, probably in the Spider-Man movie, he'll be the mayor. Like, that was the rumors, and yeah, they teased it at the end of Echo.
Well, that's great because if you're a Marvel fan, one of the best fucking team ups ever is the fucking Spider-Man Daredevil stuff. So, I mean, let's get this shit going.
Yeah, but D'Onofrio, he said he'll play Wilson Fisk for as long as they let him. He's kind of on that train that Chris Hemsworth was on with Thor, but he's still fighting to get a Spider-Man Kingpin fight on the big screen is what he wants.
I mean, I'm sure it's gonna happen. I mean, you don't like that's the thing. I mean, that's the thing, right? Is like you don't have Kingpin without Spider-Man and vice versa. You know?
Yeah.
And you like Kingpin is just such a huge part of Marvel. Like this opens up a whole world of possibilities. I don't know, you know, I think probably some stuff is up in the air in terms of like Tom Holland and whatever his involvement is going to be going forward, but I think he signed on for 3 more movies or something like that, right?
And he has 1 more left. I don't know if he's signed on for any more after that.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'm misunderstanding, but yeah, Kingpin's this huge character, and like also the other person that we haven't seen too that's like another huge player in Marvel, especially in politics in Marvel, is Norman Osborn. That motherfucker becomes the president. So
yeah.
Yeah, plenty of characters to pull from, which is why it's like, you know, I think with this Kang thing, obviously the Kang stuff was like planned fucking years ago, but now that it's all falling apart, like they have plenty of opportunities to build a new story that is like really, you know, exciting. They have like, you know, the Fantastic Four and Galactus and fucking, you don't need like I don't even think you need like a huge fucking universe ending villain like Galactus. It's cool, but like they could fucking tone it down a little bit, you know?
Yep.
I mean, it'd be cool if we had an antagonist show, like if they made a Kingpin show or like a Doctor Doom show, you know, like just showing them kind of putting their plans together and like not running it, you know, maybe have a run-in with 1 or 2 superheroes, but just doing the thing, like planning the shit out, seeing how.
Well,
that would be dope as fuck.
In the hands of like a good writing team, I think that could be the Punisher show, right? Because like he's not a good dude.
Yeah. No, but he's more of an anti-hero. He's not. He's not so much like an evil villain antagonist. Like,
right. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. But we're getting on the DC side. We're getting the Penguin.
That's true.
Yes.
That's interesting.
That's exciting. Yeah.
Get to see him
really good.
filling that power vacuum from fucking Falcone.
I think it'll be sick. I hope it's good.
I hope it's good. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not super excited for it because I just didn't care for the movie that much.
Yeah.
Like I didn't hate the movie, but I as we talked about when we reviewed it, episode number 1, by the way.
Shout out.
I don't know. I just feel like we've
no video on that episode.
No, that is the video list.
Just audio.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know. I just feel like that movie was like, and this sounds stupid because it's Batman. We've seen a million fucking different things with Batman, but it's like everything I feel like I've seen before, just done not as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it had aspects of Batman Begins. I think Batman Begins is a much better movie.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It had aspects of The Dark Knight. Dark Knight's a much better movie. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure it'll be good. How about the news, Dusty? What do you got going on for us this week? Anything interesting?
I mean, we got the Academy nominations. I don't know if you want to go over those or care to talk about them. I didn't really have anything in it. We can talk about it because of the snubs, but
I guess we should probably talk about the fact that, like, you know, the most profitable director or female director of all time just wasn't nominated for Best Director. Like, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
That was, I feel like that was a bigger snub than Margot.
I don't think so. Margot was great. And, like, you don't have that movie without Margot. Like, and also,
she was great.
Just having, like, she doesn't have to win the award, but just a nomination alone to, like, recognize her, like, it was her and Greta that, like, really put that movie together and, like, made it come together. So just getting no recognition whatsoever is kind of fucked up, I think. But what a twist of fate and, like, just the most stunning definition of what that movie was about that like Ryan Gosling gets nominated, but the two like main women don't.
Yeah,
I found that it's funny, but in like a sad way.
Yeah, I mean, they asked Michelle Yeoh like what she thought about it, and she was just like, "It happens." I mean, she's probably been snubbed more times than anyone, you know.
I think
so it's like
Judy Garland never won one or never got nominated, and then Renee Zellweger won one for playing Judy Garland. Like
that's hilarious.
What?
Yeah, that's so pretty funny.
That is hilarious.
There's all kinds of like weird. Like Bill Murray, his only nod was it Lost in Translation, and he's got some bangers, and that's why I like comedy.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, or even animation. We've got I think Beauty and the Beast, Up, Toy Story 3 are the only three that have ever been nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah, like how does Spider-Man...
there's like Lion King, hello? Like
yeah, Lion King getting nominated is crazy. Because Lion King is like one of the best movies ever made. Like just movies in general that transcend genre. Lion King is phenomenal.
Yes, for sure.
So like, yeah. I don't know.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's with the Academy Awards, you know, it's the people that are voting, and they're voting on some of these pretentious fucking films that we haven't even watched yet or care to watch or review. And so, yeah, some banger movies are going to get scrubbed, like Barbie.
But the funny thing is like everybody who's like doing the thing of like, well, fucking America Ferrera got like nominated, and she's like a Hispanic woman. See? And it's like, all right. I don't even think she was that good in the movie, to be honest with you. I like if you to nominate her and not Margot, like that's crazy to me. So I don't know. Does this Oscar website have a fucking dark mode? Good Lord.
No, they don't. It's bad.
Fuck.
Got to get the extension.
And then, you know, another big snub, Shawshank. They got nominated and they didn't win a single award because Forrest Gump came out the same year.
Yeah.
But
Shawshank,
I mean,
objectively...
That's just a tough matchup. You know?
Nah, Marvin. You stop it right now. Shawshank...
Tough matchup.
Like, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Obviously, film and art in general is subjective, as we've said a number of times. But, like, Shawshank Redemption is, like, literally considered the best movie ever made. Like, there's just no world in which it doesn't win a Best Picture or get nominated. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it had like 7 nominations, but didn't get a single one because Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
It's the Oscars. People, it's like the same shit every fucking year. We say, oh, it doesn't matter. And then it's like people get so upset when it doesn't get nominated or whatever. It's like,
well, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't matter because it's like a fucking, there's clearly like a fucking thing about it. That's, but it matters to those people, you know, like you're being recognized by your peers is the thing, you know? So to not have the ability to do that, I don't know, it's just bizarre.
Well, and then, you know, it'll take all the time, like the Critics' Choice Awards, Golden Globes, People's Choice Awards, like the SAG Awards. I mean, Barbie's going to come on with a ton of awards, but, you know, oh my God, it didn't get, you know, an Academy Award. I mean, I get it, but
let's go over the big ones. Actor in a leading role, so Best Actor, got Bradley Cooper for Maestro, Coleman Domingo for Rustin, Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers, Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, and Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction. I've only seen one of these movies, so don't give a fuck.
I've seen 2, but I think Cillian would win, even though I believe I saw an article that someone asked Cillian what his favorite movies of the year was, and he said The Holdovers and what was the one? What's the other? Not Barbie. The other girl. What's her name?
I don't know.
Anyway.
Well, he's certainly not gonna. Anyway, he's certainly not gonna say his own movie. What's his favorite?
He should.
Hey, that'd be gangster as fuck, but they don't do shit like that.
I would if I fucking.
I mean, Sideways was one of the few actual comedies to get nominated for Best Picture, and that's another Paul Giamatti. So it's
same
not
director
surprising
too.
to see him up there. Yeah,
that's a great movie. I haven't seen American Fiction. Don't know what it's about.
No, I've not. Okay, that's a really good one with the guy from the show. No, okay, I'm not gonna do that. he plays an author, and he publishes this book, and it's really great, and it's really smart, and it's really intelligent. But there's another book that's like, it gets all these awards and stuff because of the way it's written, and it's a black author, and so he decides to write a satirical book.
Oh, this guy was a writer on the Watchmen series. So the guy who
decides to write a satirical, satirical book to make fun of like the type of stuff that is getting the awards, and it wins all these awards. So it's like it's a satire on what it's like to be black versus what is expected to be black when you're like writing like this great novel.
I see.
Right.
But what is his name?
I don't know who you're talking about. Cord Jefferson?
The main actor.
Oh, the main actor, Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright, yeah.
Yeah, he's nominated for Best Actor. We got supporting actors, Sterling K. Brown, American Fiction, Robert De Niro, Killers of the Flower Moon, Robert Downey Jr. for Oppenheimer, Ryan Gosling, Barbie, LOL, and Mark Ruffalo for Poor Things. Haven't seen Poor Things. I heard it was
Poor
really
Things.
good.
That was the other one that Killian said was his other favorite.
Yeah, I wanted to watch
Holdovers
that.
and Poor Things.
I heard that was really good, but I have not.
For this one, I feel like it's between the Robs for this one for me.
Right. Best Actress, Annette Bening for Nead. Haven't seen it. I haven't even fucking heard of it. It is crazy. What a weird year. Maybe because it's the strikes and stuff. Like I didn't hear about a lot of this shit. I don't know.
Like I have not seen what's the Anatomy of a Fall, but it's been on my watch list. I just haven't got around to it.
Remarkable true story of an athlete, Diana Nead, who, at the age of 60 and with the help of her best friend and coach, commits her to achieving her lifelong dream, a 110-mile open ocean swim from Cuba to Florida. Gotta be honest, I just don't give a fuck. That's why
How many miles?
What did you just read? What are you talking about?
That's the description of the movie Nead. Nead. Oh. I don't know how to pronounce it. But that's what Annette Bening is nominated for, Best Actress, Actor, Best Female Actor. Jodie Foster's in this movie. That's cool. These are things I just don't care about, and that's why these movies
Swimming
don't
110 miles. That's insane, though.
Yeah, it is. But also, I don't care.
Yeah. True.
We got Carey Mulligan for Maestro, Emma Stone for Poor Things, Sandra Hüller for Anatomy of a Fall, and then Lily Gladstone for Killers of the Flower Moon.
She was good. I ain't gonna
yeah.
She probably won't win though.
I haven't even seen.
She already has her next project though.
Who does?
We're going to talk about this. I'm going to try and thread some news in here. Charlie Kaufman has written a script for Scorsese to executive produce and Reed Morano to direct. This is based off an acclaimed sci-fi novel, The Memory Police by Yoko Ogawa, and Lily Gladstone is
Could bet that
set to
shit'll be
star in
weird.
this one.
Marvin?
Yeah, the synopsis of the book sounds weird as fuck. Like they're in this island on this beach in the desolate somewhere, and they just can't remember their memories, and like she's an author, and so they're like hiding in the basement and writing and trying to remember shit, like sci-fi drama.
Marvin, what Charlie Kaufman film have we recently watched? I'll give you a hint. It was a Make Marvin Watch. He was the writer.
Eternal Sunshine.
Oh, did you actually remember that?
No.
You looked him up. Okay.
Every time we talk about someone that I don't know, we look him up. So,
all right, that's fair.
Don't know him.
Supporting actress.
He's done some of them weird type movies.
He's a great
Real
writer.
quick, you said Scorsese, and I was thinking about a TikTok that I saw where a reporter asked, oh God.
Martin?
They asked, no. They asked fucking, I'll have to come back to it. Go ahead.
Spit it out.
Just go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. Those are all like the big noms.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
So yeah.
Seems like a little underwhelming year. Last year was like,
bravo for everybody that makes it. Bravo for everybody who wins.
Sure.
Sorry about it if you didn't get the nod. We'll see you next year.
The best picture noms we got: American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, Holdovers. At least Barbie got the best picture nomination. I don't know. Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest. I heard The Zone of Interest is really good. Unfortunately, I'm never going to watch it because I hate period piece movies.
Unless it's The Lighthouse.
Lighthouse isn't a period piece.
It's true.
No, Lighthouse is
What do you
not.
mean by period piece?
It takes place in a different period of
Look
time.
up the definition.
Like
I can't explain it. It's not just that it takes place in a
Like-
different time.
Killers of the Flower Moon? Is that a period piece?
Kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's not.
Oppenheimer?
Yeah.
Is that a period piece?
That's what I'm saying. Everything can be a period
Holdovers?
piece, but there's a difference. That's what I'm trying to say. You got to like look it up.
All right.
Like a period piece is where like the core value of the thing is based on the fact that it's from a historical period.
Oh, okay. So like
Like the core
Napoleon.
value of the holdovers has nothing to do with the fact that it's from in the 70s. You know what I mean?
I got you.
Don't,
Okay, I did find
maybe.
what I was looking at
Real quick,
earlier.
to finish answering
ahead.
your question, The Zone of Interest, the movie that I was just mentioning about, is about fucking like Auschwitz and like World War II. Like it's about the commandant of Auschwitz, Rudolf Hoss, and his wife Hedwig strive to build a dream life for their family in a house and garden next to the camp. Like, don't. But go ahead, Marvin. Sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, someone asked Denzel Washington in an interview he was promoting Fences why it was so important to have a black director for the film, and his answer was something along the lines of it's not color, it's culture.
I saw that.
And he brought up like Martin Scorsese like directing like a mafia movie or like
Which was kind of funny because he was like, all Italians are mobsters essentially in that thing. It was actually kind of funny. I laughed when I watched that.
Yeah. What do you guys think about that? Like how important is it to have someone from the culture, specific culture, I guess?
I don't know. I don't think
Or
I understand what you're asking.
No, I think I understand. Yeah, I think. Well, it depends on the type of movie you're making. Like if the culture of the movie is important to get right, then certainly. Like if you're making a mostly black film in Harlem, and you go get what's his name, redhead that does all the movies, Opie. What the hell is his name? Like he's not going to have the same, ideas as somebody like Spike Lee would if you got him to direct.
Yeah.
Don't make me fucking look up Opie's name. Jesus Christ.
Run it back again. I'm not really quite following what he even meant. I guess he was saying that like it's important that a person
from the culture is the director for a movie about a certain thing. Like Steven Spielberg did Schindler's List. That was just one of his examples.
Yeah, I mean,
Scorsese
yeah, like
did
if you had
whatever the
Ron
fuck.
Howard do a gangbanger movie in LA, like he's not going to have like the same take as somebody like Spike Lee would, because the culture is different when you're trying to make a movie like that. So, I mean, some directors can do it, but I understand how what Dendel's saying is like for some things, that it is culture, and you kind of
for some things, but I don't think I think it's less important for a director than it is for a writer. Personally,
Maybe I can see that.
Director's job is to like pull a performance out of an actor. Like, I don't see how that has anything to do with the culture. If you're writing a movie about what it's like to grow up in, fucking South Bronx or something, like, then that's a different story. I wouldn't write a movie about growing up in, a fucking, or being in jail. Like, but that's not to say like somebody can't be creative too. Like, I don't know.
Of course.
I think I don't know. I think it was, I think he was saying, I don't know what he was
Well,
saying.
the interviewer or the reporter or whatever was trying to make it a race thing, and I guess he was maybe trying to
Yeah.
Yeah,
argue against that,
Denzel's
or-
a great interviewer, and he doesn't take those bait questions. He always answers them very well.
yeah.
So yeah, that's the Oscars this year. I don't know. I feel like last year was just like a lot of fucking bangers. This one kind of seems a little bit whatever. I'm sure they're all great movies, but don't. I
Oppenheimer's
personally
gonna
don't.
clean house,
Probably.
most likely. I mean,
Probably. So other than the Oscars, what other news did you have for us this week?
Well, we got a little bit of Disney news, not much. Deadpool 3 has wrapped. We talked about when the trailer might be out. It's probably going to be 2 weeks when the Super Bowl happens. Shout out to Niners fans and Chiefs fans. That's who's going to be playing, and in Vegas, where the Raiders play. Shout out, Nick.
Yep. Shout out, Nick.
So, yeah. That's Deadpool 3's finished wrapping. So we've got, I don't remember when exactly that's supposed to release, but it should be on time. I'm looking forward to it. I didn't write the name down. We already talked about Vincent D'Onofrio saying he wanted to play Fisk as long as he wanted. And then Wilson Bethel coming back. So that's all the Disney news we really have. WB, Supergirl's down to 2 choices, according to the Hollywood Reporter. This is Millie Alcock and Meg Donnelly, both screen tested for the role in Atlanta. Gunn and Saffron were in attendance. So it looks like they're narrowing it down.
Now,
and then go ahead.
Well, you can finish this piece of news. No.
Oh, okay. Gunn commented on about the production. He said, sets are being built, costumes are being finished, actors setting roles, prosthetics, and VFX models being made, flights booked. Here we go. They have a March start date for principal photography, so they can get it out by 2025. So, yeah.
Did you see the pictures that leaked of Corin Sweat in I don't know if they're real or AI generated or whatnot, but a bunch of pictures surfaced this week of David Corin Sweat allegedly in a screen test. And he's wearing the Henry Cavill suit from his appearance in the end in the stinger of Black Adam.
Interesting.
The reason I say that suit specifically is because that suit was brighter in color. It didn't have the muted bullshit that Zack Snyder likes. So he looks really good, I will say, as Superman. He's got the hair. They gave him the curl of altruism and everything. He's looking the part. I don't know if it's real. It's probably fake, but the only reason that it could be real is that oftentimes when screen testing, the studio will, obviously there's no costumes developed yet for him. So they'll screen test with the costume of the previous film that took place. For instance, when Christian Bale screen tested for Batman Begins, he was wearing the Joel Schumacher Batman and Robin suit. Cillian Murphy originally auditioned for the role of Batman as well, ended up playing Scarecrow, as we all know, but he also screen tested in the suit that they wore in Batman and Robin.
I don't take stock in anything that's being released right now when the trailer comes out, or maybe there's a better leak right now. It's like,
just all that to say, it might be true because there is a world in which he's screen testing in the previous suit. But whether it's real or fake, he looks fucking good as Superman, and that's it. However,
nice. That's good.
To talk to my opinion on the thing you just mentioned with that they're searching for their Supergirl, I'm a little bit concerned at the amount of characters that are going to be in this movie. Okay.
Not me.
Well, let me explain. And the Zack Snyder fucking cult people are like very up in arms about this too, because to their credit, there were a lot of criticisms about the DCEU that were largely based on the fact that there were too many characters. I don't think there were too many characters in the DCEU, just to be clear. I just think they were rushed with no actual connection. The audience had no way to connect to these characters to give it any meaning. That was my problem with it. Of course you're going to have Wonder Woman and Batman and Superman to get, like, they're the Trinity. They are the OGs. Like, there's nobody bigger than them. Of course.
I want a movie where everybody knows who they are already, and we don't have to go through a fucking.
Well, seems like that's what we're getting. That's what we're getting.
And I'm stoked for it. So fuck all the haters because this is what I want.
That's fine. However, because the movie, from what James Gunn has said, is about Superman. Like, this is a Superman. We're not getting his origin story. He's been here. It's about him balancing his life as a human being and as a Kryptonian, and also about his relationships with all the other things going on in the world, other heroes as well. I don't really care for that, to be honest, because I kind of just want to see a Superman movie similar to what Superman and Lois does. Like, I want to see a much more personal story about him, and maybe it'll probably be that way. I think I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, thinking like there's going to be a million different fucking characters in it. But I also hate the concept of Supergirl, And it's not because I'm a fucking sexist or a misogynist or anything like that. Supergirl comes from a time when like she is like kind of just like a handout character. It's like from back when
a token character. Yes.
Back when she was invented, there were a lot of, you get a female version of everybody. You get so we have Superman, here's Supergirl. We got Spider-Man, here's Spider-Girl. Like that's whack.
We have Hulk, here's She-Hulk.
Right. And I don't like that. And Miles Morales, the reason why he's so popular as a character is because he is his own character. He has his own identity. He's not just Black Peter Parker or female Peter Parker. He's his own person with his own backstory. He's got his own powers. He's got his own problems and things and stuff like that. Super dope character. And that's why everybody likes him. Supergirl also, to me at least, and Ed agrees with me. Shout out to Ed. And Ed's a huge Superman fan. She like kind of like makes Superman less special to me in my mind, because Superman is the last son of Krypton. He is the last Kryptonian ever. That planet was destroyed. He's the last of the Kryptonian bloodline. It makes him super special. Oh, wait a second. We also sent his cousin, another Kryptonian, to look over him and make sure he's okay. So like it kind of, I don't know, it just devalues like the fact that he's unique and that he is the last Kryptonian. I think. I don't know. I just don't like her as a character, personally. What do you think, Dusty?
Yeah, it mucks up the story that like he's the most powerful and he can't, like, now there's two of them and you think they could do anything. And so it kind of like, I get how it kind of, it makes him less unique and interesting in some ways. So yeah,
right.
It's a legitimate
like,
gripe.
Marvin, it's like if Aang was, the last airbender, but there was like another airbender who was like just chilling. It's just kind of like takes away. Speaking
he had a cousin that could do exactly everything that he could, just following him around waiting.
Yeah. Speaking of, I don't know if this is in your news. We didn't talk about this. Have we all watched the trailer for The Last Airbender?
I did not watch it yet.
Did you watch the animation, Dusty? I don't remember.
Yes, I've seen the animation and the live action. Yes. Marvin
and I are pretty excited. I'm not going to lie. I don't want to speak for Marvin, but we talked about it. It looks good. It looks pretty good. But I'm still a little bit tepid since the original creators left because of creative differences. That doesn't bode too well for me. And a trailer's job at the end of the day is to make something look good after all. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I try to avoid trailers most of the time. So
I mean, it was pretty shocking. They even had Nyla, which is the bounty hunter woman that was like early on in the show.
Yep.
So, I mean, it seems like they're kind of staying true to the show as we know it, but we'll have to see.
The other day I watched, it was actually yesterday, I rewatched the scene, the battle between Fire Lord Ozai and Aang. God, that shit is so hype. It would be fucking, I hope they do a good job. That shit is so gangster, bro. What a bitch. He fucking doesn't, he's like, I ain't gonna kill you. I'm just gonna fucking make you a little bitch. You have no powers now.
Take your powers.
Go sit down.
Yep.
I kind of like forgot about it. I didn't forget about it. I knew that happened, but I forgot that was like the ultimate form of bending, was to like bend someone's fucking just complete energy and life force. Fucking gangster shit.
I mean, blood bending is pretty sick too.
Well, each sect of the thing has like their own, like their giga fucking power, right? Like fire bending is making lightning. That's like the purest form of fire bending. Blood bending was water bending. I don't know if there was an air or earth, but
earth was metal.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Master metal bending.
And then what was air? I don't know if we ever learned that.
I don't know if there was one for air or not. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the thing. I'm kind of excited for it, but we'll see.
Well, since you love not having more Supermans in the universe, you're going to love that James Gunn has confirmed the J.J. Abrams Superman film is still in development. So
saw that
you're still going to get the black version of Superman.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Make him his own character. We don't need a black Clark Kent. We just don't.
So we get
but it's another Kryptonian.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I do not like this stuff. And also, I'll say, it took me a long time as a human being and a comic book fan to even like the idea of other heroes existing in a world. I don't.
Right.
I really fundamentally don't actually like that because, again, I think it devalues the hero. Marvel, like you said, if there's multiple Kryptonians running around, there's nothing that could be done bad. Like they win. You know what I mean? It's over.
Yep.
Superman on his own just wins. There's no so having more super people.
Most of the time.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I think Avengers kind of did it good because each person sort of has their own strengths and weaknesses and things like that. And there's, Superman on his own is a little bit muddy, and this is why it's so hard to fucking make a compelling story involving him, is because he is undefeatable. Like he has no threats other than the fact that he is like his only weakness is his care for humanity, and that's hopefully this is what that explores. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, Val Zod movie, that'd be fun.
Yeah. Well, and maybe you'll get a chance to soak in the tears of Snyder fans. We talked about how it would be ridiculous if WB just sold the rights to let him finish with the characters in an Elseworld on Netflix, right?
Not happening, but yeah.
Well, now there's talk maybe of Smallville having a movie continuation from the show because he never really became Superman in the show. And Michael Rosenbaum was on his podcast talking to Tom Welling. He was like, would you do it if they said, we have this Superman thing? It's like an Elseworld. It's going to be on Netflix. Would you do it? He said, oh, absolutely. I'd be like, yeah, let's hear it. What do you got? Let's see. So
they'd be so furious if that because they don't understand
the fact.
Smallville
movie on Netflix would be amazing.
Because the thing is like they can't grasp the fact that like unanimously, other than this group of people, don't like the Snyder stuff. It was just not good. People love Smallville. I don't think Smallville's a good show. I hated Smallville. But as you know, I hate all the CW shit with the exception of Superman and Lois. But like people love Smallville. So of course they would bring it back. There is nobody but these group of people on Twitter clamoring to bring back the fucking Snyderverse. Like nobody cares.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know why nobody cares? Because I read a story recently. I don't know how true this is. Listen, Zack Snyder just wanted to make The Watchmen again with these legacy heroes. I've said it many times. That's all he wanted to do. It's clear. That's fine. Stupid concept. One of his ideas, Marvin, I don't know if you know this, he wanted to cuck fucking Superman. He wanted it to be that. So Batman is obsessed with the fact that like there's this alien who poses a major threat, kills him. That's the Death of Superman storyline if you haven't seen Batman v Superman. And in the interim, after he kills him, he's like, oh, fuck, wait, he sacrificed himself to Doomsday? Oh, wait, never mind, I was wrong, he's bad. So, he's good. Batman's like a xenophobe who got fooled by Lex Luthor. So Batman, Bruce Wayne, who is the world's greatest detective, got fooled by some rich guy into being xenophobic, into killing Batman, and then being like, oh, wait, our mothers share the same name. Never mind, I was wrong about you. Like, that's the story arc there. However, what Zack Snyder wanted to do was that in her pain that Clark has died, she turns to Batman and gets pregnant and has Bruce's baby. Bruce was set to die, and then Superman was going to raise Bruce's baby with Lois. That was his plan for this story arc, okay? Not only that, it was going to be revealed that everybody, even the fucking, like, the seeds of life on Earth, the Amazonians, which is Wonder Woman's, like, people, everybody has Kryptonian origin, okay? That was his other plan. And idea number 3, which I don't know how true this is, but I just read it, is that with the Wonder Woman film, he wanted there to be some sort of rape backstory for Wonder Woman. And apparently Patty Jenkins was like, hell no, like, we're not doing that. It makes no fucking sense. Good. She's Wonder Woman. Nobody's raping her.
What the fuck?
She's as strong as Superman. She's like the only person in the DC universe who could like probably go toe to toe with Superman and still lose eventually, but like she could go toe to toe with him. And she was going to get raped. And not only that, even if she did get raped, we were going to have fucking what's his name just stand by and like watch. Like what?
Yeah, I can't wrap my mind. That just blew my mind. Like, she's an Amazonian princess.
Yeah.
The group, like, was it one of the other Amazonian princesses?
I don't know. I have no idea. Again, I don't know how true this is, but I said it to Ed the other day. Ed was like, God damn, bro, you just ruined my day. The dude just had whack ideas. He just had whack ideas for characters that like don't need them, and a small handful of people happen to like it. And that's like that. They're never bringing it back. You guys got to get over it. Nobody liked it. It's over with. Enjoy that you got 3 films. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Speaking of whack ideas that they're bringing back.
Oh, God.
Did you guys watch the trailer for The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live?
No.
Nope.
This was this was supposed to be like a movie trilogy with Michonne and Rick trying to find their way back to each other, and they decided that because nobody really watches the show anymore, they're just going to turn it into a series and release it.
Why did Rick even leave? I don't even remember.
The show or...
Well, I know he left the show, but then what did they make him in the story? They had made him like leave to do something. But I don't remember what it was.
No, he sacrificed himself to blow up a bridge, and he washed down river. And then somebody rescued him and flew him off in a helicopter. Is what happened, right?
Yeah.
Right. Michonne leaves to find him.
And then Michonne leaves to go find him because
her child to go find Rick.
Because they never found a body. Yeah, it's a good story.
And then
that was after the stormtroopers, by the way.
And had they write Carl off the show? They killed off Carl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's all the WB news.
Talk about jumping the shark, bro. God damn. That shit is crazy.
I mean, the first 2 or 3 seasons were all right, but it was just downhill fast after that.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to the people that hung on, hoping it would get better, though.
Jesus.
In the everything else news, we got a couple things, and we can get back to it. Chris Evans, Aubrey Plaza, and Margaret Qualley will star in Ethan Coen's next movie, Honey, Don't. Nothing else announced for this so far, just that they're all...
You said Ethan Coen's next movie?
Yes.
Okay, so just so you guys know, I don't know if you guys know this, because if you look at their credits, which I don't, maybe you have because we just watched one of their films, they swap credits for each movie. So for one movie, one of them gets the director credit, the other one gets the writer credit, and then they swap each time. But they work on everything together. Oh. And the reason is because of apparently the way the Academy recognizes things, they have to do it separately.
Right.
So while you say it's Ethan's next film, it's probably very much like a
Coen Brothers film. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, so, another Coen movie. Looks like it'll be interesting. Who knows? Matthew Vaughn is bringing back his movie. He's rebooting Kick-Ass with a new trilogy of movies. No old characters are returning, at least not in the first film. But he does have an interesting idea to make it a very, metaverse type film where they could show up.
Why is it always a trilogy instantly? There's never just let's see how one... reboot does or whatever.
I mean, that's
Star Wars set the standard.
Yeah.
Which sorry, I need you to repeat everything you just said. I was looking at something.
Matthew Vaughn is rebooting the Kick-Ass movie into a trilogy of movies.
We already got 2. Why not just make a 3rd movie?
No.
No.
What's the other movie
new
that
metaverse
was coming back for a 3rd one that's also a trilogy?
28 years
later.
28,
yeah.
Yeah, rebooting that one into a trilogy. Yeah,
wait.
Well, they did that with Halloween too. They rebooted it into a trilogy.
Don't even talk about that shit in front of me.
Well, here's an interesting one you might like. Boy Kills World.
Wait a second. I got to go back.
Okay.
I need more information. He's rebooting Kick-Ass.
Yes.
And making a whole new trilogy.
Yes.
With new actors and everything.
Yes. The old characters won't be returning, at least not in the first movie, because his quote was it's going to be a very, very meta universe.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Go ask Vince Vaughn or Matthew Vaughn. Sorry,
Vince Vaughn.
Matthew Vaughn. So yeah, I don't know what he means by it. He's gonna do a Kick-Ass trilogy. I mean, the second movie after
we already had 2 films of a trilogy, though. That's what I'm not understanding.
We need 3 more.
There was even plans to make a Hit Girl movie. after the second
Getting
one.
the characters back, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, didn't Nick Cage have some problems with the movie?
No, he
after?
died in the first one.
Right. But wasn't he... I don't know. I thought he had some problems with the violence in the movie because there was like a school shooting or something that happened at the time that the movie was coming out, and so
I don't remember.
He was not going to promote it, and he was actually against it coming out, I think. I don't know if that was the first one or the second one. My memory betrays me sometimes.
I don't know, but Kick-Ass was fucking dope.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it was.
The cast was great. I don't know why. I mean, I get it's years later. When did Kick-Ass 2 come out? 2013. So we're now 11 years later. I could understand that, like, the actors totally get it. But, like, okay. But it just came out. Like, it's not that old. So I'm annoyed now. You've ruined my night. Thank you.
Okay.
Because I love the first Kick-Ass.
Right.
And I like the second one, too, quite a bit. Cheer me up.
All right. Boy Kills World. This is from producers Sam Raimi and Roy Lee.
Real quick. I'm sorry. Still on Matthew Vaughn. His movie that's coming out soon, Argyle, looks fucking great. The trailer has been going around for it. It looks awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This Boy Kills World from Raimi and Roy Lee is one-of-a-kind action spectacle set in a dystopian fever dream reality. Starring Bill Skarsgård. This is from Lionsgate. I think they picked it up. And it's coming out April 26, 2024. So the movie is done, and they were shopping it around.
What is this?
Lionsgate picked it up. Boy Kills World, starring Bill Skarsgård from Sam Raimi and Roy Lee. Looks like an interesting little action horror movie.
Yeah.
Could be fun watch. But it's coming out in April, so we'll see.
Okay.
Nice.
And then not a reboot, but a prequel, so maybe a requel. Per Deadline, Book of Eli prequel TV series starring our boy John Boyega as a younger version of Eli. This is going to be set 30 years prior, so about the time that shit's really popping off when society collapses, I guess. Obviously taking over for Denzel. This is coming from Alcon Entertainment. They're producing. There's no distributor yet for this, but they're going to shop it around. But they're also doing the upcoming Prime Video series, Blade Runner 2099, which is obviously 50 years after Blade Runner 2049, which was the last movie. So, yeah, we got some more old content coming back.
Okay.
And then the last piece, which it's not news, but why not just segue into it? Fargo has not been renewed for a 6th season yet.
Okay.
The 5th season really just recently ended. There's hope because they had some award nominations from the Golden Globes and the SAG nominations. So it really shouldn't be an issue. However, Noah Hawley is also working on the Alien TV series for FX. So the new fucking Fargo series is probably not a matter of if, but when. So you're just going to have to wait and be patient on the next iteration of Fargo.
Okay.
And that's it for the news.
All right. Thank you, Dusty, for delivering us the news once again. All right. Well, let's get into today's film. It is a Make Marvin Watch, folks. Once a month, Dusty and I alternate. We take turns suggesting a film that Marvin should watch that he hasn't seen before. And this month was my choice. And I chose Fargo. Fargo hit theaters in 1996, and little did the Coen brothers know that back then they released it that 18 years later, as Dusty just talked about, it would kickstart the inspiration for a TV show, which just finished its 5th season. That was very, very good, by the way. And as I said earlier, the TV show has been criticized over the years, but the movie's actually very highly regarded and rated amongst critics and viewers. So with the most recent season of the show coming to an end, I thought it would be, I've been telling Marvin he should watch it, and I thought it would be fun if we made him watch the movie that started it all.
Yeah, make him watch the movie.
And it's a classic. Real, just to break down the film a little bit before we get into anything, before any dialogue is spoken in the film, we're met with a little title card that reads, "This is a true crime story," or "This is a true story. The events depicted in this film took place in Minnesota in 1987. At the request of the survivors, their names have been changed. Out of respect for the dead, the rest has been told exactly as it occurred." Now, this is something which I remember when watching it for the first time, I sort of questioned if what I was about to watch was actually true. I told you in advance it's not, so you probably knew. But it's actually like a super interesting way, I think, to open a movie because it kind of like immediately draws you in.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that it's not actually a true story. The Coen brothers have said that there is actually something to it. They based it off of a true crime story that they kind of stumbled across that happened in the 80s. It's nothing like the film. It's just that a man like probably killed his wife. And I think the only things that did make it into the film from that true crime story was the dismemberment and the wood chipper and the husband killing his wife part of it. So this movie's not a docudrama, but it does incorporate some of that stuff. I think the real story is about a woman named Hella Crafts, and she was killed in 1986. And that's basically all there is. And it was, I think the back then the suspicion was that he did it for money. So yeah, but Fargo is a successful movie. It's their fifth film, the Coen brothers. It had a budget of $7 million and it went on to gross $60 million. So that's a big one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this movie stars William H. Macy as Jerry Lundegaard, Frances McDormand as Marge Gunderson, Peter Stormare as Geir Grimsrud, Steve Buscemi as Carl Showalter, and then a host of other interesting characters. But yeah, I fucking love this movie. What'd you think, Marvin?
Well,
Don't say
I thought it was all right. I wasn't amazed. I didn't really come out of it feeling really much of anything.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really understand the point of the movie, if I'm being honest.
All right, well,
I did not enjoy it. Like I think it was a good watch, but it was just kind of all right.
The whole time I was watching this again, I was thinking of The Holdovers, because one of the things that I said about The Holdovers is this isn't like a spectacle like a lot of movies are nowadays. And that was one of the things that stood out to me about The Holdovers is you're just watching characters. And this is sort of the same thing. You're just watching people be people. I mean, this is a story about fucking greed and deceit and lying and like personal gain and the disregard of everything else, when focusing on those specific things. And, Jerry Lundegaard is the character that like, he literally connects all those things together. Like, it's funny because in the film, he's described by one of his customers as, what does he call him? He calls him like a bold-faced liar.
Yeah.
And that's like literally what he is. And that's the whole funny thing about like his lie just fucking snowballs and fucking gets everybody fucked up in the process, because his whole plan, for anybody who hasn't seen the film, spoilers, he is in debt and his father-in-law is a rich man. So he plans to have his wife kidnapped so that he could collect a, what is it called? A ransom from his father-in-law, that he would then split with the kidnappers. However, he tells the kidnappers that the ransom
80K.
he's setting up is $80,000 and that he would give them $40,000. But the ransom that he actually set to his father-in-law was what, like $1 million or something like that?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
straight up.
And there's the start of the lie. And there's the start of the snowball.
It's like worst case scenario all around the board with this fucking movie.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. What do you mean? So I guess I'm confused when you said like it was about nothing or something or whatever you said, however you described it. Like, it's just, it's really, there's a dichotomy that you're watching in the movie, and that's between Jerry and Marge. Like Marge, they show her relationship with her husband a lot, and it's like they're just living a mundane like married
Yeah.
life, and they're happy. And it's interesting that the movie closes with her and her husband saying like I love you to each other before they go to bed. Because you have her and him who like they're expecting a child and they're happy to fall asleep in bed with each other, like eating chips and shit. And on the other side of it, you have Jerry, who's like this greedy fucking monster who's like lying to everybody, getting his wife killed and like lying to his son.
Yeah.
And like all this shit. So that's really like kind of, I guess, what it is about. It's just about this, just characters. I don't know. It really reminded me of the movie we watched.
Does remind me of the
her just coming
holdovers,
home
but-
and not bringing work home.
Yeah.
Like I saw a
It does
guy at a
remind me
wood
of-
chipper. Love you.
Yeah. Wood chipper, maybe not the best way to get rid of a body.
No, definitely not.
In the snow. Yeah, it definitely reminded me of the holdovers, but I don't know. I had way more connection with the holdovers. Like this was just kind of like a funny, like.
Well,
this was.
Yeah, this is definitely out of the realm of reality. And I mean reality, like for most people aren't going to experience these things, right?
Right. Yeah.
Whereas the holdovers is just a human story for sure.
Right.
But like this is, I don't know, this is like the Coen brothers like wheelhouse. Like this is the thing they do. It's like these really dark fucking like things, violence, but in a sort of humorous way. Because this movie is funny, right?
Yeah. It is funny, yeah.
Especially Steve Buscemi's hilarious, and his like whole fucking like just interaction.
Everything
with
he
Peter
did was
Stormare.
funny. Even like him getting shot in the face.
But also what's funny is the depiction of these people, right? Because like they're very like nice. Like Jerry Lundergaard, he carries himself as like a nice person from like fucking Minnesota who's like,
Kinda. He's a fucking car salesman, so they're the worst of the worst.
but he's a nice car salesman though. That's the thing.
Yeah, but that's
is he?
He's like, oh, geez. It's just the way they are. They're polite. They're nice
Oh,
people.
yeah.
Like
he presents himself as such, and to everybody that he comes across, he seems that way until he gets short with Marge, of course. But
right.
Oh yeah, she saw right through.
But the point being is that everybody in this area is like very kind of nice, and it's funny that he is also that while also like kind of having his wife murdered accidentally.
Yeah.
So you know,
why did they kill his wife off screen? Why did they make it so like unimportant? It felt.
I don't know. I guess it's not really ever really explored. Like
because she was like the most important part for a while, and then they just killed her off screen. And
well, that's what I'm saying.
Focus was more just on like.
Well, that's kind of why I'm saying
Jerry, I guess.
she's really not the important part of it. It's really about like at least for me, the dichotomy between Jerry and Marge. Living similar lives, just very different. Have you seen No Country for Old Men?
Nope.
Okay.
oh wow,
We gotta do like a whole like Coen brothers fucking playlist. There's a very similar thing that happens in that film where you're experiencing the plot with one person whom you start to root for. Then he dies, and you're like, wait, what? I thought this was the main character. When in actuality, the main character in that movie the whole time is Tommy Lee Jones. The movie's called spoilers. The movie is about a sheriff who's about to retire, and it's his last case, and it's a violent one. And the movie's called No Country for Old Men. Like his time is done. A lot of his character is like, man, I'm too old for this shit.
I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah.
That's what the movie's about. But but people who've watched it and initially are like, wait, I thought it was about this other fucking guy. Like, what are we talking about here?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think it's just like a kind of thing where it's like you think that the point of the movie is this kidnapping, but it's really not. That's just like one of the elements of the story that drives the whole plot along. But it's just really about like this snowball of bullshit.
It's not about I mean, usually if the kidnapper gets their money and they still have the person they kidnapped, they're just going to kill them anyway. It's like it's almost like it adds to the mundaneness. Like they're up in this world and they're doing all this mundane shit, and even the kidnappers are like, yeah, well, we got the money and we're going to kill this person now because why would we have to do extra work?
Right. Yeah.
What were you going to say, Marvin?
Why was it? I understand that she was a pregnant cop. Why was she doing all the cop work? Like, I feel like if you're,
I think she was the chief.
She's the sheriff. Yeah,
so.
you could delegate, but you're the sheriff in a small town, and you have a murder this size. Like, you're the one in charge, and if shit gets fucked up, it only like you're the one accountable. So the voters are looking to you.
Her performance and the way she's written is so fucking good too, because like she gets to that first murder, and she's just like so casual about it. She's like,
she's figured it out.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
looks like he has his gun on him.
Like, oh,
yeah,
there's a hole in the head.
Yeah,
it must be a defensive wound.
Yeah.
How you doing over there, Marge, or Chief, or whatever? She's like, I'm about to puke, or whatever she says. She's like, oh, that passed. Now I'm hungry again. Like, it's just a very casual thing, and that's what I mean. Like, these people, like the way they're presented is very funny. Joel and Ethan are actually from Minnesota too, so they have like a personal connection to it. In fact, when they filmed this was the warmest winter in like the history of Minnesota, like since they've been alive. So a lot of the snow they had to like make out of like ice chips and stuff. In fact, if you notice the scene at the like parking garage thing, there's snow on the fucking roof of the parking garage where like the meeting takes place. But if you look in the background, there's just no snow anywhere. Also, when Steve Buscemi buries the briefcase, he's just like perfectly walking on snow. During that time of year, normally there's like 6-7 feet of snow. So the production on this movie was like very difficult because of how warm it was. Which was I never really knew that until I was looking stuff up for this conversation. But yeah, so did you find the movie boring or like what? I don't know.
No, I don't think it was. It wasn't boring. No.
Okay, so you didn't totally hate it.
I didn't what?
You like short movies? It was short, hour and a half.
Yeah, that was a great length for sure.
40 minutes under the holdovers.
And see, this is what masterful filmmaking is. Look how much shit they fucking fit into an hour and 30 minutes.
It was a lot.
Meanwhile, you got fucking Zack Snyder who's like, I need 7 hours and 14 movies to get my point across.
Yeah.
My favorite character in this movie is Peter Stormare's character. He's fucking hilarious.
He's a brilliant actor and everything he does.
Dude, he was looking like Ryan Gosling in this fucking
You think
movie.
so? He was young.
Yeah.
He
was looking like Ken. He was basically. I looked it up. Like, why does Peter Stormare look like Ryan Gosling in Fargo?
Did you actually?
Yeah, and Reddit's like, yeah, he looks just like fucking Ken from Barbie.
He was young, man. I don't know. So just so you know, I had mentioned to you last week that like the way the show, there's no real ties to the movie from the show.
Yeah.
With the exception of the first season. There is a character in the first season where he is a successful businessman, but his success is predicated on that he actually found the briefcase from the movie.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So that's really the only connection. But in theme, the show is very similar to the movie. There is always like the Jerry character who's like doing something fucking stupid and it getting like too deep. There's always like the cop, and there's always like the Peter Stormare kind of guy who's like some fucking scary weirdo. And like kind of the Steve Buscemi. So last week when I was talking about this season of Fargo, season 5, it was very different from it like broke away from that structure like quite a bit.
Okay.
So what about you, Dusty? This isn't the first time you've seen this, right? Obviously.
No. Marge is my favorite character. Just
That's
her
my
delivery
favorite
of
too.
her lines. Like when she's sitting there talking to the Asian dude, and she's just like holding that Diet Pepsi. She's like, that
was such a weird.
We need to go.
Yeah.
Reschedule. What's going on? Like. She just played a witty, wonderful character. She's going through. You feel like she's going through flippantly almost with like the crime scene and stuff, but she's taking it all in. You can tell she is a smart character. Like she's awesome.
Yeah,
and her lines are, they're memes. Yeah, you betcha.
You betcha.
How you doing there? That was my favorite from Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
How you doing there?
How you doing there? I can't even do the accent.
Oh yeah.
That's a hard accent.
Interesting. Some interesting, like just I guess direction stuff that maybe goes unnoticed. But right at the end of the movie where we saw that guy, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but Peter Stormare, he was putting Carl in the wood chipper. And when Marge was aiming her gun at him as he was running away, it was actually almost a mirror image of the execution style killing that that Peter Stormare did on the guy that was driving past when he saw Carl getting rid of the officer that they had killed.
Yep.
I always love little things like that. And I mentioned it, I don't know, they do this in Breaking Bad too. I don't know if you guys have noticed this or if we've ever talked about it, but the scene where you go back in time with Gus to when he like struck up the deal with Salamanca and all them.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And his partner gets executed at the pool. And then Gus is like, he's like, it's a sideways shot or horizontal shot of Gus like staring at his dead partner or whatever.
Right.
Well, that's a mirror image of the shot when Hank gets killed by the biker guys.
Yeah.
Same exact shot of Walt looking at Hank's dead body. So I always like little fucking things like that. There was one there. I thought that was a nice touch. And
Easter eggs are always awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm a little upset now, Marvin. You upset me.
Why?
Because I thought this is a banger movie, and like the Coen brothers are like they are my like top favorite filmmakers. Like I obviously like John Carpenter and stuff, but like these guys, like if they put out a movie, like I don't even need to watch a trailer. I don't need to read a synopsis. I don't need to know anything. It's gonna be good. I don't think I've watched a movie from them that I haven't liked, and it just seems like you're a little underwhelmed by it. That's all.
Honey Don't should be interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I wouldn't say I didn't get anything out of it. Like I definitely get I understand like the greed things and that sort of thing, but
there's a lot of like nuance to it too. Like Scotty, the kid, was worried that his mother had been kidnapped, and Jerry was like trying to calm him down and saying everything's gonna be fine, everything's gonna be fine. They just want money. Scotty responded with a line, "What if something goes wrong?" And Jerry basically said like, "Oh, nothing's gonna go wrong," because he thought he was in control of like everything that was happening. But by that point, 3 people had already been killed, and he knew nothing about it. So, like,
it was fun. My favorite. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like you said earlier, everything that could have possibly gone wrong did.
Yes, up to her dad dying. Yeah.
Getting pulled over because you don't put tags on the fucking car.
Right. Just the smallest thing is just a snowball. Yeah.
So, what were you gonna say? Your favorite scene was what?
My favorite scene was right after Jerry calls her dad and lets him know. Well, we don't really see it because something else happens, I think, but he lets them know that she's been kidnapped. And then when they meet up at the diner, I think, and Jerry's like, they're talking about it, and the dad's like, "I want to go, I want to be there," and that sort of thing. And Jerry's like, "No, this is my plan. I mean, this is my wife." That's just so funny. That was my favorite for sure.
My favorite is actually the moment, and this is the moment in the movie where I think Jerry actually knew that he got himself into like a fucking mess that he's not going to get out of. It's when he found Wade's body, his father-in-law, and he loads the body into the car, and on the way out, he saw that the parking lot ticket guy also was killed.
Got killed. Yeah, he's like, "Oh, this is."
And there's like the somber music playing, and Jerry just goes, "Ah, geez." He's like, "Ah, geez."
Yeah.
So that's him realizing that him initiating this plan had like devastating effects for people that he loved and cared about, but also people that he like never crossed paths with in his entire life. And as Carl says, Steve Buscemi's got blood has been shed. So
price went up.
Yeah, I don't know. I love that. Like, what I don't know. I guess I'm kind of like hard focusing on the fact that nothing happens in the movie, but like, I think that's the point because there is a lot that happens. It's like this huge fucking event that takes place that affects like multiple different people, but it's just done in such like a.
I didn't say nothing happens. I said I didn't come out of it really feeling much of anything, and I didn't really understand the point of the movie.
There you go. Yeah.
when you do compare it to Holdovers, I mean, it kind of makes more sense.
Yeah,
like you just kind of enjoy it for it. And I did enjoy the movie. I just, like I said, I just didn't.
Yeah, that's fair.
It didn't evoke much. That doesn't make it not a good movie.
No, yeah, there's not much for sure. Like Holdovers.
I just like when I watch movies, I do like to come out of it like
totally
feeling something, or like I don't even, like learning something about, something like that, maybe something like that. But I don't know.
Yeah. No, I understand that. Like Holdovers does evoke like an emotion. It's an emotional movie. This is but this is different in that it probably doesn't evoke like any emotion, but it is the same in the fact that you're just watching.
It was enjoyable, yeah.
Like,
this is something I could watch again for sure.
Yeah.
Like
this is clever, funny to me. Like I don't necessarily know that I have a favorite scene. Everything that I like about this is the fun they make of the Midwestern nice, because that's like a real thing.
Yeah.
Like if you go like when they're sitting there and he's like, oh yeah, my wife died, and she gets her Diet Coke delivered, and she's like, oh my gosh, that's terrible. Then she turns and smiles and says, oh, thank you to the waitress.
Yeah, it's just like,
or after like they're talking about the kidnapping and they're leaving the restaurant, and she's like, was everything okay? And he's like, oh yeah, it was great, thanks.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what I enjoyed too about the psycho character, Peter Stormare's character. Like he kind of broke up all the niceness.
Yes.
Like when they're driving in the car and he's like, you're never gonna fucking say anything, you're not gonna talk at all. And he's like, bro, we're planning to kidnap someone's fucking wife and all this. He's like, he was the only like,
I think
only real character.
crazy shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I could argue with you for a second, Marvin.
Sure.
I think there is a point to the movie, and I think that is in the fact that I think it's in like Marge, Norman, and like the contrasting life that Marge had.
Mm-hmm.
She has like this, what I think is a pretty powerful line at the end of the movie. She says, "There's more to life than a little bit of money." Don't you know that? I think that's kind of the point of the movie.
That's true.
Where it's like, and we've talked about this many, many times with other movies we've watched. It's like just valuing kind of like little things in life, like. Her life seems mundane and like boring and this, that, but she's happy because she's with somebody she loves and she's having a baby with him and all this other stuff.
Right.
Meanwhile, fucking Jerry just like couldn't get out of his own way,
Yeah.
So
he's an executive manager, and it's not enough for him. He's got to go come up with a scheme to.
And she mentions how all the people that were killed for that, just a bit of cash, and she couldn't get her head around that, and that, I don't know, I love that part of the movie is how they're like the polar opposite of one another.
Looking back, I definitely enjoyed that too. And I enjoyed the little pieces of how they showed Jerry as being the fucking greedy guy that he is. Like, especially when he's trying to like secretly upcharge people with the clear coat or whatever.
Yeah, that was a thing back in the day, getting it without the coat or with the coat.
Oh, yeah.
The first guy comes in and he's like, you told me I wouldn't get it. And then they show him a little bit later. He's trying to like, that's before he's like completely realized that everything is not in his control.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like a weird little thing where the clear coat thing specifically, he's like, the guy's like, oh, I don't need that. He's like, oh yeah, maybe you don't. And I felt like that was kind of like Jerry, like, I don't know, feeling like, maybe he's kind of, he can't keep this fucking facade going too much longer. Like this shit's about to start crumbling. Like he wasn't even focused on upcharging and selling shit like he usually would,
Right. You know what I think is really interesting about this movie too? You almost kind of root for Jerry. Like he's a piece of shit, obviously, but and I don't mean root in like the literal sense, but the movie, the way the plot is built and like how it like slowly but surely starts to escalate and snowball, you almost kind of like root for him of like, not that you want him to get out of it. Not that you want him to get out of it. It's just like you feel the tension and weight bearing down on him that he must be feeling. So as a viewer, you're kind of like feel it on yourself. You're like, oh fuck, like how do I get out of this? That's how I feel every time I watch it.
Yeah, I feel that.
But
like, I mean, you feel for him too, like being like basically little broed by the dad. Like, he's like, he's trying to get the deal. At the beginning, he's trying to get the deal before, and the dad's like, he says something like, I'm trying to make, Jerry's like, I'm trying to make sure, well, Jerry's like, I'm trying to make sure we're all good. And the dad is like, well, my daughter and my grandson, they'll always be good. And he specifically leaves out Jerry, like, yeah, you might not be so good, you know, if shit really hits the fan.
Yeah.
If you go bankrupt or whatever the case may be.
Yep.
So you kind of feel for him there, like he's trying to keep his family and all that, and the dad has all this fucking money and he's not willing to throw him a bone.
But yeah, this is definitely I think this is an amazing movie. I think it's definitely one of my favorite movies. It's definitely one of my favorites of the Coen brothers. Like, they've got a lot of fucking bangers, and it's hard to really pick one, but this is definitely up there for me. And they've mentioned in the past how when they wrote the script with these actors in mind. And I feel like you could definitely see that. With like how in touch the characters were, or the performers were with the characters. They almost,
for sure.
Like, when I think of William H. Macy, I think of this character. And he's played a lot of people. When I think of her, I think of this character. Like, because of how real they felt. So I think the casting was spot on. I think their performances were amazing. And
why did William H. Macy's character Jerry? Why did it remind me so much of like Ned Flanders or something? Like, I don't
because
know
that's who he is. That's what I mean. He's like an overly nice guy. Like that's what Dusty was saying too. Like, Minnesota is a place. I've obviously never been to Minnesota, and I've barely left like my fucking tri-state area, so I don't know. But I've never seen like Minnesota on screen that much in movies. So like having it be like the central element in the movie is interesting to me, because the place is like a character in the film itself. That dialect has like it's just interesting. I don't know. It's just like, it's pleasurable. Like, it's nice. I don't know. It's just weird. It's like,
it's the opposite of New York.
Yeah, it's like this happy tone is such a contrast to what's going on in the story.
Well, it's Fargo, North Dakota, though, right? I mean,
Fargo's North Dakota, but the film takes place in Minnesota. So,
yeah,
Brainerd.
Yes. So it's just, I don't know. It's like, obviously the film was going for that contrast, the contrast between the two characters, as I mentioned, Jerry and fucking Marge, and also the contrast and like just the niceness of the area and what's happening.
The areas, the difference. Yeah.
To like all these people. But yeah, the environment I think was just important to the movie because, like, you know, we've talked about this a lot too, where like the setting becomes like a character in it. In and of itself.
Oh yeah, this was big in this for sure.
And I think that, I think the location is one of the biggest like central elements. And there's a lot of also like little like, I guess, film stuff too that is done throughout the movie that I think is brilliant. Even if you look at the poster for it, like there's a lot of red, the use of red in the film. The guy running away in the snow is wearing the red jacket. You have the fucking taillights of the cars. You've got the red blood a lot of the time, the red fucking snow axe thing.
Yeah.
And it's like another like contrast off of the white bright of the snow. So yeah, there's all these like little, elements in there that are getting that same point across. And that's mastery, Marvin. And again, that's something you just don't really get anymore. I feel like, I don't know, maybe some of these Oscar movies we talked about have some of that stuff, but yeah, I kind of miss movies like this, but yeah. Talking about not having snow and being warm that time of year when they filmed it, the movie makes you feel cold. I kind of felt.
Oh yeah.
Like you just feel like everything is a little bit more difficult because of how fucking cold it is or how much snow is there, which is something I think is awesome. But yeah, I love this movie. I think everybody should watch it at some point. I think 30 years later, it's definitely stood the test of time for me. And the fact that it's inspired a 5-season run of a show is pretty telling of how good it is or how good it was. And yeah, it's one of my favorites for sure. So,
did the Coen brothers have anything to do with this show?
They're executive producers. I feel like I had read that they don't like the show. I don't really remember. They're like kind of like weird dudes. I don't know.
You got to be kind of weird to be a director, I feel like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
It's that artistic thing.
I think Noah Hawley came to them with like the script for the show, and I'm assuming they liked it since they're executive producers. Like, you know what I mean? So,
yeah. I don't think I've seen any other. Maybe I've seen. Let's see.
I can't actually believe you haven't seen No Country for Old Men. That's like insane to me.
Okay, wait a second.
Oh, I've seen Oh Brother Where Art Thou. I love that movie.
We've done The Big Lebowski, haven't we?
Nope. What movie did you say you love, Marvin?
Oh Brother Where Art Thou? That's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, that's them. Great movie.
What else?
Barton Fink's
Raising
amazing.
Arizona.
Yeah, they don't have a bad movie. The only movie that no, they don't. Sometimes they get a little bit weird with their comedies, like Hudsucker Proxy, but it's still a good movie, I think. Lady Killers is a great movie with Tom Hanks. That one's fucking hilarious. That movie, Marvin, not talking about, I think this is going to sound racist, but as a black man, I think you would really appreciate Lady Killers because it's a group of people. It's led by Tom Hanks. They're trying to like rob a fucking like Louisiana fucking like riverboat fucking gambling casino thing.
Yeah.
And they're staying in this woman's house to like burrow through her basement, but she's just like an old Southern religious black lady. So it's got like all those like elements that, because we've laughed about it before. What was it recently? We were talking about something. Oh my God, what the fuck was it? We were just talking about it like the other night. I can't remember, but you know how like old black women are. Like it's a funny fucking movie. So yeah, I'm racist for saying that, but whatever. Great movie. But yeah, so back to Fargo again. It's on my top list of movies that I fucking love forever. It has an 8.1 on IMDb, so it's like, as I said, it's very well regarded. Marvin, you disappoint me. What would you rate it?
Well, I said it was good.
I know.
I just
I'm
said
just kidding.
8.1. I would probably give it an 8.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I would probably still give it an 8.
So I think your gripe with it, if I could, not to speak for you, but if I understood correctly, it's just that it kind of like, well, yes, there is no like outcome that's like, oh, okay, like I see like it's a very low key finale where it's just like, okay, well,
yeah, exactly.
This thing happened and that's it.
Yep.
I see.
Accept it for what it is. It was good. Yeah.
Okay. 8. That's great.
Yep.
Dusty?
It's not my favorite Coen Brothers movie. It might be, it's definitely top 5, but I don't even know if it's top 3. And I'm pretty critical of movies, so I would definitely only give it a 7.5. I would not give them an 8 or an 8.5 on this. There's other movies I would give them that too on, but this is a great movie. Definitely worth a watch. It's an enjoyable rewatch if you like this kind of movie. But yeah,
I would rewatch it.
Yeah.
I'm taking some inspiration from our last rating conversation where Marvin made a great point. So I would give this a 10 out of 10.
Good.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with the movie. I actually think it's a masterpiece of a movie. I think like when you really like, obviously we don't do like those like fucking deep, serious film breakdowns and like what things mean, but I tried to throw in a little bit of it with like the contrasting of colors and like themes that are used. Like this is really like
we hit on some of this subject matter sometimes for movies if it strikes us. If it doesn't,
this is like a master class in filmmaking in my opinion. So yeah, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. You're darn tootin', Marvin.
Yeah. All right.
What did
the bell curve?
What did this guy look like anyway? Oh, he was a little guy, kind of funny looking.
Funny looking guy.
That was the most accurate description ever.
In what way?
There's nothing else you can say.
Just in a general way.
Just in a general way. Everybody said that. Funny looking. Just generally funny looking.
Yeah, I don't know.
He was uncircumcised.
And that's Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
She was like, he was uncircumcised and he looks funny. That's about it. That's all I got. Yep.
A lot of people consider this the Coen brothers' best movie, Dusty. I'm curious what you consider their best, or what's your favorite?
I actually like Raising Arizona a little bit better than this, even though it's not as highly rated. But also, I think No Country for Old Men might be one of their greatest movies.
No Country for Old Men's amazing. I think I think my favorite from them, if I had to pick one, like again, I said I fucking bow at the altar of the Coen brothers. Like I'm obsessed with them. Inside Llewyn Davis is another fucking masterpiece in my opinion. Have you ever seen that one?
Yes.
I think that's an
I've
amazing
seen
movie.
most of their movies. I don't think I've seen them all, but I've seen most of them.
I'm really kind of tucked between Big Lebowski, so fucking good. I can't pick one. I don't know. I think my favorite.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I would rate like there's like 3 or so movies I'd rate higher than this one.
If there was
I can't give them all 10. So
if I had to, I'll do it this way. I love Barton Fink. Barton Fink is amazing.
Yeah, Buster Scrubs is fucking hilarious.
Barton Fink.
You guys like Oh Brother, We're Out Now?
I love that movie.
Yes.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Amazing.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
It's amazing. Yeah, no, if there was one movie of theirs that I had to pick that I could watch over and over and over again on loop, like I couldn't watch anything else that existed, it would probably either be Big Lebowski or Burn After Reading.
Yeah.
Burn After Reading is fucking hilarious. I don't know if either of you have seen. I know Marvin probably
it's
hasn't.
good.
I haven't.
I
Burn
would probably
After
do
Reading
Raising
is
Arizona or
fucking
Big
hilarious.
Lebowski. Like, I don't know, those, just the comedy and some of that older stuff.
Yeah. Oh man, Burn After Reading is so fucking good. I'm thinking
Some
about
good
it.
ones.
Yeah.
We gotta put a lot of movies on this list now that we know Marvin's.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the list
I only
never
seen
ends,
one or
so
two. Yeah.
The list
shouts out
never
to the
ends.
fans because we might just have to do a whole year of Make Marvin Watch.
You're Don Tootin'.
I mean, Raising Arizona is peak Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
Nicolas
but
Cage in the 90s, Marvin.
all their movies are good,
No.
but I think Fargo really illustrates their like just
Their style.
their thing, their wheelhouse. Because like we said, like Burn After, they have this thing that they do where they'll like go do like a weird fucking comedy thing because they like comedy. A lot of this stuff has comedy in it, and then they'll do like something sort of like No Country for Old Men. That's just like this violent fucking thing.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad we're doing these I mean, I feel like my taste is like developing or
It's growing.
Yeah, like evolving as we watch more stuff, especially when we have these conversations, because I could think more through about, okay, did I actually not like this movie, or what specifically did not like about this movie?
Well, it makes you think about things.
And I can learn
differently.
to enjoy movies differently. Like, I don't always have to walk away with something. I can just enjoy the movie for what it is, or, you know, stuff like that. So,
yeah. Well, I really like the like the 3-piece sort of thing we do, not to be biased, but like if you watch a lot of like, again, I don't consider what we do reviews, like it's just, you know, but when you watch like review stuff on YouTube, it's like one person being like, this movie is this, and this. I don't really like that stuff because generally what I like a lot of like, I don't like a lot of stuff that is super popular and vice versa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's cool to have 3 different like alternating opinions on things. Like Dusty will fucking, you know, give the movie a bad rating because the hubcaps were inaccurate or something.
Yeah. I will.
So yeah. But yeah, I'm glad you liked it, Marvin. You rated it an 8. That's great. I give it a 10 out of 10. And yeah, that's it.
It's a great movie.
You betcha.
great movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know, folks, what you think about Fargo. Let us know what your favorite Coen Brothers movie is in the comments. I would like to know. That was a really hard question for me. I couldn't. Yeah, I think based on my standard of like if I had to watch it over and over, yeah, those 2. But yeah, let us know in the comments what your favorite Coen Brothers movie is. I'd be curious to hear about it. Let us know what you think of Fargo. Let us know what you think of Fargo, the show, because the show is quite good and different, but like
I will watch the show. I do want to watch the show.
You should.
Good.
When you're gonna notice the first season is very, very heavily inspired by this movie, almost to a T, a little bit. But
You could watch them backwards if you want to, though, because it doesn't matter.
yeah, well, no, the first 3 seasons do have a through line.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because the second season is about the cop from the first season's dad or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Very small connections. But yeah, watch it. Leave a like on the video. It helps us out. Subscribe if you have not done so already and you like what you listen to. We do this every week, so we'll be back next Monday for you guys. And until then, we appreciate you listening, and we'll catch you next time.
Asta.
See ya.